All right. Sometimes you get data like this. In this case, this is data of various companies like Puma, Adidas, Nike, and Reebok. And the data talks about the different kinds of marketing posts that were made by these companies during a period of time. Like you see Puma here, these are the dates on which the posts were made. And these were the type of posts which were made. This was about innovation, this was about job fair, and then kind of an appreciation post. And then the post content related to either a media house or a corporate. This talks about how many likes that post got. This talks about how many comments plus shares were there. And finally, a total of the likes and comments plus share is in this column. It's the same data for every tab, as you will see. And now we will see how we can go ahead and consolidate all of this information into one single worksheet in the easiest manner possible, so that we can apply pivot chart to get the best consolidated data possible from multiple worksheets. Firstly, we will go ahead and convert all of these ranges into tables. For that, I'll quickly do Control T for table. And this, I'll say, okay, this has been converted to a table. I'll just come here, change the naming convention to table underscore the name of the company. So I'll say PUMA, right? Okay, then I'll come to the next company. And finally, we'll do this for the last company as well. So Control T again. I'll say okay, and rename the table to table underscore Reebok. And I'll come out here. Now I'll simply go to data and say get data from other sources and initiate a blank query, right? Let this load. This is the page I see. I'll come here and say equals Excel dot current workbook, open bracket and close bracket, like so, and enter. Right. So I've got all the tables that are there in this worksheet. I don't need these error tables. I can simply filter them out by clicking here in the drop down, and in the text filters, I'll simply say begins with. And I know all my tables begin with table underscore. So I'll say begins with table underscore, and I'll say okay. So this is exactly what I'll see. Now I'll go ahead and expand this table, and I'll uncheck use original column name as prefix. I don't want that. So I'll say okay. All right, this is the expanded form of all worksheets consolidated, right? Now what I'll do is press Control A, go to transform, and just to make sure all columns, rows are consistent, I'll say detect data type. And I see that the data is pretty consistent, right? All right, and I don't want date to have time as well. I want it to be in the proper date format. So I'll click here, I'll say date. I'll say replace current. It's in the proper date format like I wanted it. I can now go to home and say close and load. The moment I say that, this loaded a worksheet, which is a consolidation of all the individual worksheets you saw previously. Like you see here, the names are all there. And let's see the count, 156 rows got loaded. So this is how we load all the data into one worksheet. And now let's go ahead and do the fun part, which is adding the pivot, right? So I'll right click here. I'll say load to pivot table report. I'll say okay. All right, do you want to continue? I say okay. Okay. Let's say that my boss said that, give me a table which tells me the frequency of each post type for each company, and also the dates on which each post type was posted by the marketing teams of these companies. I'll say company. I'll drag this here to the rows, and then I need the dates. So I'll drag the date here. I'll throw out the month. I don't want it in month format. I want it in proper date format. And then I need the post type, right? What kind of post it was. All right. And then since I want the frequency of the post type as per the individual dates for each company, I would want to drag this to the values section here, right? And since I want the frequency also to show the percentage contribution of each post type to the overall number of posts, I would drag this again, bring it here, and watch this. I'll go to value field settings, and instead of count of post type, I'll say percentage contribution, and I'll say show the values as percentage of grand total. I'll say okay. All right, I got a percentage of grand total here. These were the number of posts which were made on 19th May, and it was only one, and that one's post type was media poll. And let's say on 2nd of June for Adidas, there were 5 post types, out of which there were 4 of innovation and 1 of media poll. Right. Now, if I want to see in just a snapshot of all companies' contributions together, I can simply come here, Control Shift down arrow key, and then go 1 up, and then do a right click here and say collapse. All right. If I come up, I'll see this table with just the company-wise data. And if you see here, the number of posts made by Adidas were 39 total. Nike made 47 posts, which is the highest. And then Puma made 32 and Reebok made 38. I can come here, the contribution seems to be the highest for Nike. I can come here, and if I want to see that on the top, I can go to data and say sort largest to smallest. I'll see Nike on the top, and this is how I want to see the table, right? All right, I'll expand it for now. Right click, expand. Okay, I want to see this in a better format than it is right now. So I'll go to design. Let's say I want the report layout to be in a tabular form. I'll click here. Right, this definitely looks better. And I don't need the total for every single day, right? So I'll just come here and say do not show subtotals. All right, cool. So this says 0.64. What does that even mean, right? It means that on 17th of June, there was only 1 post, and that was of innovation post type. And there were total of 156 posts. And that's why if you divide 1 by 156 and multiply that by 100, you will get 0.64. So that's the percentage contribution of this 1 post to the overall number of posts made by all companies, right? In this case, there were 15 posts just from innovation alone on 25th of June for Nike, right? All right, let me go ahead and go to home and make this look more appealing by adding borders. I'll say Control A and say all borders. Now this definitely looks better and more presentable. And in case if you want to consolidate all data in a better way from all worksheets into one single worksheet or a pivot, you can do that in this way. Thank you.